So at the house meeting yesterday at Simplify Sober Living, there was a guy who was a sponsee of one of the guys in the house, and he's a Mormon guy, older, maybe pushing 50s, um, on the verge of drinking, trying to stay sober, issues with his wife, marriage of 24 years, bunch of stuff going on. And he ended up saying, how grateful he was that he was at the house meeting. We let him participate in the meeting, which is fine. We've had several people that have just, the format of our house meetings are one that anyone could jump in, anyone in recovery, or I don't know, maybe even otherwise, but and participate. And so that's what he did. He had this great sense of relief that he was able to be there and vent some of these things that were on his mind and get some feedback from us. And I certainly had some feedback for him. But, one of the things that he said was just blows me away that this is still a thing that people are contending with and dealing with inside the church. And then when they get outside the church, there's like this level of control that the church has, the Mormon church in particular. I don't know about other religions as far as like what promises are made in the other side on the other life, as far as rituals here and what you get as a promise of those rituals on the other side. But, in the Mormon faith, if you perform certain rituals and go through certain things, then you can be with your family on the other side. So you can be with your family eternally with contingencies that are all performed inside that church. And if you don't do those things, then there's this very real fear, and I think a blanket, bold statement that you will not be able to be with your family if you don't do these certain things. I don't know what I'm saying. This is exactly what it is. But so he was saying that he wanted to go back to church. Obviously he's been out in and out of the church with some of his personal issues that he's going through. But he's been going back into church, and this is the point that I'm trying to make. He went back into church so he could be with his son. He had a 20-year-old son who died not too long ago, I guess within the last a year ago. His son died, and it was drug related, and his son OD'd, so he wants to go back to church so he can be with his son on the other side. That's what he said. And what a crock of shit. That's upsetting to me, because now that I'm outside of, the circumstances in my life that led me to this juncture where I'm here, and to believe that I would not be able to be with my son, I have an 8-year-old boy, that he and I would not be able to see each other on the other side, even entertaining that stupid idea, because I didn't go through some rituals inside of an organized religion of any sort down here on earth, or in this dimension, whatever you want to call it, in this life. It's upsetting. It's dumb. That is a control mechanism, in my opinion. You're telling me if I don't participate in your religion and adhere to your policies, including 10% of my, I believe in tithing. I tithe, but I do it to organizations I believe in and causes I believe in. And I dedicate my time to people I believe in. I do it on my terms. And I'm okay with the consequences of my choices. The good and the bad. I'm full accountability there, full acceptance. I think tithing is a phenomenal principle. But to tell me that I'm not paying, this is a whole other video, going off on a tangent here. But that's just one of many things that you're telling me if I don't do, that I don't get to see my family on the other side. I think it's ridiculous that that's touted as reality and this dangling carrot that, if you don't participate in our rituals, our program, our ceremonies, our belief system, then you're in danger of not seeing your family when you die. Absolutely ridiculous. So the talk I had with this guy yesterday, my opinions, as far as shame and guilt and overcoming the challenges that he's had, the temptations, the obstacles. Look, I don't drink, I don't drug, I don't philander, I don't go out and, I live for the most part the same principles that anyone inside the church would, other than I cuss. I don't know, like I'm of service to other. So I just refuse to go live in a low vibration like shame and guilt any more than I need to. I want to feel those in a healthy manner to help me overcome them so I can get into a state where I'm not feeling like I want to drink or drug or do any other destructive addiction, because I can't stand being myself, right? Which is where this guy resides. And he's going to church to help pull him out of that. I think that's actually going to make it worse. You go there, you're just going to feel more guilty, more shame. Like you're going to be surrounded by people who are incapable of deep, brutal honesty, which is where the true liberation comes. True freedom and that pursuit of happiness that we all have the right towards, it comes from brutal, courageous honesty. And that truth is different with all of us. We can all share opinions and say what's worked for us and what hasn't. But once you choose to plug yourself into an organization, or if you are an organization that says only if you do these things will you get these promises, I think certain principles can deliver promises. I mean, I guess all principles deliver a promise, but specifically where I come from, the Mormon church, to say, if you don't do everything we're telling you, you're not going to get to see your family on there. It's just, man, that sucks. It's really, really a painful thing to watch somebody go through. And I can tell this guy, I look at my son and I tell him, look, what we are experiencing, this is what I believe wholeheartedly. That everything he and I have together is eternal. It's already done. It's forever now. And it will never go away. And that he and I will return to where we came from. And we will be able to be a part of each other forever. That's already done. And it will continue forever. Period. This whole concept of having to know exactly what God is, it's ridiculous. I don't think we're designed to know what God is and to comprehend it. I just think a lot of the manipulative tactics that happen within the confines of the Mormon church are more destructive than constructive. I wanted to vent that out and get it out while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I don't know. I hope that one cuss word I dropped earlier doesn't destroy the value of this video, but very upsetting, very upsetting. And that guy now is actually going to be moving into the house. He loved what he heard. And I hope he finds what he's looking for. He just wants freedom. He wants to be free. He wants to live his potential. He wants to be strong. He wants to be healthy. And those are all the things that I have experienced, that I've done. That's where I'm at. That's where so many others who participated in the Simplify Sober Living, that's where they're at. That's what they're experiencing. That's who they are now, coming from a place of weakness. And my advice to him was, do what these guys are doing. Do what I do. Do what the Simplify program suggests, rather than diving into a place that says you can't be with your family if you don't do what they're saying. On the other side, threatening something in the afterlife like that. That's a fear-based tactic. It's not okay. Man. Anyways, that's all I've got on the subject. All right. Thanks. Bye.